Welcome back. It seems as if Tifa and Cloud have fallen into the live stream. This is going to be another one of those bust out the popcorn opportunities for you viewers. This is going to be a long episode, and it's mostly going to be story and exposition, so it's good stuff. We get a lot of explanation for what's going on in the story, which is kind of why I've held off explaining during the last couple of story-heavy episodes, because it's basically all going to be explained here. Okay, so while in the live stream, we've actually we're seeing this reflection of Cloud's consciousness. If you remember the live stream, that's kind of what it is. It's more or less the spirit of the planet, but it has all of the knowledge and the memories and so forth of the living things of the Earth that have died and returned to it. So it's kind of like this just stream of consciousness for every living thing on the planet. And when they fell into the live stream, we are now able to access Cloud's memories, Cloud's consciousness. And we're going to use this opportunity to learn what actually is going on, learn about his real origins. Is he really a clone of Sephiroth? Is he really just an image that Genova created out of Tifa's memories? Or is he the legitimate Cloud that she remembers from her childhood? Now you need to do this in a particular order, so come to the north and talk to Cloud up here first. You can't do these out of order, so if you talk to the other ones, they'll just say kind of a short thing and then nothing will happen. So we're going to try to jump back into the Nibelheim incident here and find out if these memories are really Tifa's, or if Cloud himself was actually there. Okay, so Tifa finally reveals that Cloud was not there. Even after telling the story that way throughout the course of the game, she knew this whole time that Cloud never showed up. He was not the second soldier there. This is the one problem I have with the story of this game. As much as I love it, and nothing's perfect, which is why I'm able to look past it, it doesn't make sense that Tifa just went along with this whole time knowing that Cloud was obviously not there. She did not remember seeing him. I guess if you put yourself in her shoes and somebody you knew from your childhood is recounting these events basically exactly the way they went, as if he was there, but you don't remember them being there, that would catch you off guard a little bit. There'd be something a little bit weird about that, especially when you didn't know about Jenova and her power to, all that stuff. When he's telling this, it's just like, you're telling it exactly how it happened, but what the freak, you weren't there. Maybe you'd be quiet during that, or I would assume if you were a good friend, you'd speak up and be like, wait a minute, no, you weren't there. That's just what happened, but how could you know that? Anyways, the one problem I have with the story of this game is that Tifa stays quiet about this the whole time. I just have a hard time believing that anyone would do that. Let's go over here. So the trouble we have here, and the reason Tifa has been so confused about this, is that Cloud does remember some things that legitimately came from her childhood. He just doesn't have the memories of the Nibelheim incident down correct. And there seems to be, some trouble recalling that with accuracy. But there are still some childhood memories that they have together, and that's why she's kind of held on this whole time, believing that he's the real Cloud. Then again, this doesn't really prove anything, this starry sky, that's still something that could have been pulled from her memory. By Jenova, that is. So the only thing that would prove that this is the real Cloud is if he could recall a memory and a perspective of that memory that she wouldn't have, that could not have come from her, that could not have been pulled from her memory by Jenova. And that's what he's going to explain now. Alright. We've almost made it to the end of this sequence here, just one more part. Find out what really happened. This is actually my favorite part of the game right here. Alright, so that's the first time they mentioned this guy's name, Zack. And if you remember from, what was it, several episodes back, Zack was actually the first boyfriend of Eris we learned about back in Gongaga. So that all starts to make a little more sense now. This guy looks pretty similar to Cloud, except for his black hair. Oh, what the freak, they didn't replace Sephiroth's sprite for this scene. I wonder why. It's actually really weird. So that is how Sephiroth's body ended up in the northern crater. He was thrown there into the life stream, and he just floated into place there. That's how he gained all the memories of the ancients and things that he had been talking about back at the Temple of the Ancients. All right, Cloud has been restored. He's not responding to what she said, but it's kind of funny because it seems like it a little bit. No, don't criticize me. But he's obviously responding to something else in his head that's going on. The live stream. He can hear voices. After all that time, I was just trying to get you to notice me, and then you called me a jerk. All right. Cloud is back in the party again, at last. Very nice attitude there. Again, this game gets a lot of bad, it gets a lot of negative attention because people think that the main character just mopes and complains the whole time. But throughout the whole first disc, he wasn't moping or complaining until the very end, when he started worrying that he was going to give the black materia to Sephiroth. And then during this sequence where he's trying to find himself. And now that that's over, they're all back on board again. They're all positive. They're all ready to go. I have no idea why people have this idea that that's all these characters do in this game. Anyways. Let's bring, not Tifa, these two into the party here. Okay, so we gotta go get the last underwater, or the last huge materia. It's in the underwater reactor, but we'll have to do that next time, because this has been a very long episode. So I'll go ahead and reorganize my materia and everything off screen. I'll talk about it next time. But for now, let's save the game. And if you guys have any questions about the story, hit me up in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. Peace!